Okay. Investigate distraction. Yes.
Yes, I know, it has been a very long time since I last uploaded, but Hitman 3 is here, and I definitely wanted to go ahead and, do a benchmark on this and do some gaming on it, because that's what I've been doing for the last few days since it came out. But anyway, let's go ahead and go through what we got for a benchmark for this. Alright, so what we're going to do is just go through some of the settings here just real quick, just take a quick look at them. We are on pretty much everything ultra. We try to turn everything up as most as we can. We're running at 1440p on the i9 10900K with the RTX 2080 Ti. So we just kind of want to see what we can get on the max settings in 1440p. We may do some other settings later on, but for now I just want to focus on having everything at max on the RTX 2080 Ti. So we're starting this out on Dubai. I am going to do the other one as well. But one thing I got to say about this game is that the graphics are really freaking good when in game. When they go to the cutscenes, they drop it down to like a 720p, and they kind of just do a projected video mode. Nothing's rendered, so you're getting 2,000 frames per second because there's no actual frames to render out of it. But yeah, as far as graphics go, when I'm looking at the the overall picture of everything, it's so good, and it's one of the things that's been keeping me engaged in this content. I mean, it's good. Anyway, as we can see here, we're running around 129 frames per second. We have an average there around 91, and that's 116, and that's just mostly my setting. Now their average is showing around the same thing, so I do like that. It shows that minimum. If you see in the upper left, the game's FPS counter, and that is when they count when it first starts up and there's no frames actually being rendered. And that's why I like to try to run my own. You can see that my minimum is 91 and then my average is 113. And the max, I don't know about that max, 267 it shows, but the max that I'm getting is 168, as you can see from Afterburner. And don't get me wrong, Afterburner sometimes can be wrong, so we don't want to always take that at face value. But I mean, when this game gets RTX next year, this is going to be insane because the reflections that they put in there are already good. All right, so our overall score is 114 frames per second. That's not too bad. Anyway, we're going to do the same thing on the castle. And now this castle scene, and if you have not played the game yet, this was probably my favorite one so far. But I didn't even know that this much stuff was actually could happen in game. I tried to replicate it a little bit, and yeah, you can destroy things like this in game, and that's insane. It's really, I mean, it really shows how much particles you can run, and running this benchmark is really showing how much it can push out, how much the game can actually stress onto your card, because of that many particles. If you ever done one of the other benchmarks, with some of the benchmark softwares, when it's trying to do particle and CPU to see how much it can render, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see tons of particles, and this game definitely has it. I love that all the windows and everything can actually be destroyed, and when you're in game, I when I was in game, when I was playing this one, I was playing it safe, sneaking around. I got my disguise on, and I tried to keep it all safe. And I didn't even realize that you could do all this in there, and it makes me just want to go back and just start tearing up the place. And I may just have to do that. But yeah, this is, I mean, that is really good for the game developers to put this in there, to put that much, destructible objects in the game and that much particles into the game. This is just insane. As you can see, as far as frames per second, we definitely jump down, around the 70s. We don't go under 60, though, in 1440p. I did not try this in 4K, for this benchmark. I did play the game in 4K though on this system for a bit on my TV and HDR and everything, and it looked amazing. And I did stay over 60 frames per second, but I don't know how it's going to actually react when we start putting the particles in like this. Because as you can see, you know, we do dip just under 60 frames per second in 1440p and the 2080 Ti. And I can imagine what the 30X is going to look like when you when we have that to test out. And like right here, I mean, we jumped down to a minimum of 48. But yeah, well, I got an average of 88.68, and we got around the same with my benchmark of 82. All right, so I just absolutely had to do the interactive one for the castle because like this is just insane. You can see we do get the destruction and everything. The one thing is the chandeliers, being able to knock down the chandeliers like that. I mean, when it drops and kind of explodes like that, I mean, they could do a little bit more because you probably start something on fire or something would spark up. As you can see, when I start firing the first time, my frames do drop a lot. That's the only thing I don't like. And that may just be more of, my system more than, the game development itself. But, I have everything turned off, so I don't know. We'll go ahead and look at the... That's insane. All right, so yeah, I mean, very short video this time. It's been a while. It's kind of weird that I, have vacation from school and then I end up coming back. I like, oh, I have all this time to make my videos, but I end up taking my vacation and just like using it. And then I actually start back up school this week, and I started making my videos again. So I do apologize, but life gets in the way sometimes, and that has to happen first. But anyway, that's all we're gonna do for this video. Tell me what you think of this game so far if you've played it. I'm gonna try to get some more videos out for this. No promises yet, but I want to try to get try to do a 1080p on my laptop and 1080p on here as well, and 4K if we can fit one of them in, if I can get them all in at one time. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button, definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. You all take care, and happy gaming.